I can feel Kira starting to heat up from all the way over here in Florida. All right. So, do we have a Charlie? Charlie, do you still live?
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Where we have a Matt and Akira, we have a Z. Iris, do you still live?
Yes, the steak doesn't, though.
Understood. It'd be a problem if it did. So, before we do the recap, let's get some luck rolls in before I forget. Rip.
Starting today off strong, Evie?
I mean, well, yes, you want to fail this check.
Alright, this is one of the ones you want to... I can never fucking remember.
Mm-hmm. Luck you want to fail on, like, your luck check of the day.
5 is pretty good. I can't wait to spend it this session.
Alright. Nice, nice, nice. Okie doke. Alright, well, they do a little bit of a recap of what happened last time.
Rebecca went diving into some cold cases that she knew of or had been sent down to Boston to try and help with, and found a cold case that had a bunch of people disappearing up and around New Jersey. East Point, New Jersey. In particularly strange fashion. So we decided to go check it out. Leeds Point is very small and is also surrounded by woods and marshland. And while there, we talked to sheriff, the new sheriff of the town. The old sheriff who'd been there for most of these is dead now?
Yep.
Also a very unpleasant receptionist.
What? Unpleasant?
Said goodbye to Karen because took the sheriff essentially to the next town over. I don't remember. The
Absecon.
Where a lot of these people were from? Question mark?
It's the opposite. Absecon was where the police station is. Leeds Point is where the disappearances were happening.
So Iris listens to
I took notes.
So proud of you.
And sheriff that we were going to try and help out, and then we were going to the opposite place, so I guess we're going to Leeds Point now. Do a little bit of poking around.
You guys also discovered some more information about the disappearances. If I remember correctly.
I got this.
Oh.
1 to 4 disappearances happened every 7 years in November or around or just after sundown. It started in 1735 with the Leeds family's newborn child. They also didn't have many children throughout the generations. Those are the notes I have taken.
Yep, that is correct. Aside from... never mind. That's pretty much the gist of it.
We also know there was controversy around the family, and that Daniel Leeds in particular had beef with Ben Franklin.
It's so fucking funny.
They were loyalists.
Yeah. They were loyalists during the Revolution, and not a lot of people liked that about them. Yes, that is right, Charlie. During your investigation, you discovered that Detective Benjamin is related to that family. Leeds was his mother's maiden name.
I have a suggestion on how we could go about doing this once we finally start trying to track whatever this thing is.
Mm-hmm.
We use Betty as bait. Can we agree?
Can I just highlight your notes real quick? I think you know what I'm going to share.
Yeah, I know.
Damn. Betty can't catch a break.
She gets too many breaks, actually.
She's just reading some fine literature.
Mm-hmm. Her shitty fucking novels. Anyway.
Damn.
No work being done in that place. Anyway, we left off with you guys concluding your investigation of the records at the police station in Absecon, agreeing to let Detective Benny tag along, because this is his town. This is his hometown, you know. He should help you guys. So, thankfully, he has his own car. So he can just follow you guys. It's not going to get too crowded. I believe you guys were heading to Leeds? Unless you want to just dive straight into the Pine Barrens. I'm
That
open
sounds like
for
a good idea.
Leeds sounds nice.
Evie was specifically told she cannot dive into the Pine Barrens until we have solved the mystery.
We're done.
It's a little acidic, Evie, so I hope you're prepared.
She was trying to marshal the team,
Mm-hmm.
and only Danny had her back.
She wants to have her playtime. We need to do the job first. But alright. You guys make your way all the way over to Leeds from Absecon. It's not a long drive at all. It's about 5-6 miles traveling northeast. The road is lined with trees. You're pretty sure if you just pulled off the side of the road and just started walking, you'd just be in the Pine Barren. You don't see all that much wildlife as you guys make your way, probably because the road isn't well trafficked by them. But eventually you do make your way into the very, very small town. It's much smaller than Absecon. It's so small in the fact that it takes you about 30 seconds, 1 minute, to cross the entire place in the car. There are 2 major roads with a couple of offshooting, smaller streets. And you all make your way into the town. You see Benny waves at you from his car and gestures for you to follow him into what looks like just a parking lot that's just nothing, really. It's more of a patch of gravel and dirt rather than an actual paved road or cobblestone road. There's no building attached to it. This just looks like a general plot or area that he gestures for the whole group to reconvene. And as you guys pull in, I imagine Rebecca's the one driving. You find him just waiting, sitting, leaning against his car, waiting for all of you, and just looking to all of you. You guys are in this investigation. He's tagging along. Where do you guys want to go? What do you want to do?
So, did we want to check out some of the birth records or something to see if any of the dead were related to the Leeds family? I think that was something that was mentioned last session.
Yeah.
Probably look for, like, the closest thing this place has to a town hall, whatever their government building is.
Yeah. It's not that hard to find. Nothing is hard to find in this place. There isn't really a very substantial government building. It looks more like an old school, somewhat rundown but well kept manor has been retrofitted to be the quote unquote town hall. It's a bigger building, but it's not huge by any means. But it's simple enough. Benny can take you guys there. There's no one sitting at the desk like other record halls you've traveled and been to would have a receptionist or something. This one does not. But it does have a knocker on the door. And answering it, or once you knock on it, because that's what you do with a knocker. Sorry. Hold.
Holding.
Sailor is making things difficult.
Taylor.
Okay. Sorry, I couldn't pull in my chair because his tail was next to the wheels. Alright. So you guys pull into the town hall records, and Rebecca isn't here, but we can say that between her and having the actual, like, lawman of the town with you guys, it doesn't take much convincing to get access to the records. Flash of a badge here and there, some small talk. It looks like there's an old lady who's in charge of upkeeping this place. And once you see Benny flash his badge, she looks at it, and then she just reaches up to pinch his cheek. And he's kind of trapped in a very long catching up conversation that's full of repetition. He looks resigned to his fate, but you guys are free to explore the records room.
Is it time to roll library use?
It is time to roll library use.
There's
Never
no other
sleep on
skills
library
in this
use.
game. It's just library use. You might think that there are other skills. You are incorrect. God, I just got this new dice set, and I feel like it only has... Oh, no, I just can't read. That makes sense. Alright, what we got here?
Alright.
I
Oh
cannot
shit.
believe it.
Did you pass again?
I crit succeeded.
Okay, how
No
are we reading...
fucking way.
How are we reading 001? Is that a 1 or is that 100?
Hold on. Hold on. 00000 100 or 10.
10 and 0 should be 100, right?
I think 000 is 100.
Okay.
So is 001 a 1?
Not even. Wait.
001. I fuck. Is it a?
I believe
Shit.
001 is 1%.
Yes.
And 000 3 zeros is 100.
Yes.
Okay, so 001 is 1%. 000 is 100.
Yes.
Are you telling me we both crit?
Hey!
I am going to put this equals 100. 001 equals 1. Into the
Yes.
fucking resources.
Yes, thank you. Good to have the official ruling on that.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Appreciate
pinning it. Because I constantly forget this. You both crit succeeded?
Yes.
Library use, baby!
Okay. Lane got a
16, which is like still
hard
very
success.
good.
She got a
I
hard
was-
success.
I was gonna spend the 2 left, but I don't need to now.
No, you really don't.
I just got a regular success. I'm sorry. Guess I guess I'm
Danny
not.
rolled a 92.
Guess
What
I'm
a
not good
himbo.
enough.
Danny.
I've never seen a book in my life.
We tell him it's library time, and he just kind of stands there, and he doesn't have a phone. But if he did have a phone, he'd be on Instagram.
He picks up a book to act like he is reading it, falls asleep. At one point, Nathan walks by, sees that the book is like upside down. He'll just reach over and like very carefully flip it the right way around, lets him continue sleeping.
I love that.
Just passed out in a chair. Okay. So I have a regular success, a hard success, and 2 critical successes. I love this system so much. What the fuck do I do with this?
I
Okay.
feel like the odds of 2 crit successes are vanishingly small.
So small.
We get
Joe, can I have the
every
numbers?
possible piece of information in this library.
No, run the numbers.
Joe, what are the possibilities of getting 2 ones on D100?
Getting 1 2 times?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 different people getting 1s.
1 in 1,000.
Jesus.
Wouldn't that be 10,000?
Or,
Because you got 4 zeros.
yeah, you're right, 10,000. Sorry.
Oop.
I was thinking of 4 tens places.
1 in 10,000.
I just want to say that it's fucked up. The statistics don't actually work that way.
What?
They don't. Don't worry about it.
Saying scary math words.
They're actually incredibly unintuitive.
The real Call of Cthulhu was calculus the whole time.
It really is. Can we transition the system into MATLAB?
No.
We transition the system into MATLAB, then nobody will get their crit successes. Because it will be true statistics.
Hey, I mean, if you can conformal map, you get your hurt success.
Kira, the 2 of us need to go out and buy lottery tickets tomorrow. And
Yeah,
we
I think
split
so.
it halfway between us if one of us wins.
Yeah, I think so. I'm down if you are.
Okay. I think I've figured this out. You guys are going to expedite this arc with this. This is the equivalent of Shay passing that fucking survival check. Is what happened here. Okay. So, I'm going to starting with Avram. Working our way up. Avram, what are you looking for?
Avram is the one who found the information in the last place we are, if I remember correctly.
Mhm.
So he's going to follow up on that, and we'll say with the lost newborn, see if there's any connection with that family and what their line was, but I don't believe that was an only child.
That would be correct. Avram, as you look into that family in particular, the only one in the police report that was mentioned was the newborn child that disappeared the same night it was born. However, as you look into the family itself, you delve into the records dating back 130, 150 years ago by now. And you discover that that was the youngest child of 13 in that family. You find that there were 12 other siblings, all older, all that stayed in town, and all that lived, essentially. And pretty much just stayed in the area, from what you can gather. So you're able to see that there are like 12 family lines in this town, all stemming from this one family.
So what you're telling me is that that's basically the entire genetic pool of this town.
Not exactly. There are 12 lines that you're able to find. Only a few of them are still in town. Not all of them stayed in this one little town. You can probably count at most, from what you're able to gather, 3 or 4. Like at most, that stayed. The rest
All right.
spreading around other towns and areas, some moving to different states even.
So that
Seeing-
will Okay.
Mhm.
As
Yeah,
I say,
so
that'll likely be his contribution, is telling the others, hey, these are who the remaining people in town are.
you can say that I'm able to identify the remaining Leeds family lines that are still in town. All right, Elaine, what are you looking for?
Maybe like I don't know if it would show up here, but I guess like rumors around the Leeds family.
Okay. So rather than
A
official
little
records,
different.
you probably find like the equivalent of like a journal, a gossip rag, maybe. You definitely find the fucking beef that one of them had with Ben Franklin, for sure. But that's above table, not really relevant. It's just funny. But you definitely able to find even more evidence of the town's, I guess, resentment towards the family, because the fact that they were loyalists during a period where that was not good to be. You're also able to see that there's a lot of strife within the family itself. There's a lot of tension, especially between, as you're able to read more and see more journal accounts. A lot of tension between the mother of the family and the family itself. With your hard success, you're able to gather that the mother of the newborn that went missing, the mother of the dozen children that survived and lived to adulthood, she was not a happy person with her life. And she always resented it. You're able to find different passages of people talking about the stories that they shared and how unhappy she was. You're even able to find a portrait of her, a slender woman that just looked so reserved and solemn. But Elaine, you've seen that look in her eyes before. It's the look of restrained resentment. All right. Evie, Nathan, we'll go with Evie first. Would you like to ask? Okay, I'll give you both of you this two options. One option, you can ask me what you're looking for, and I'll provide the best possible outcome, because that's what you guys got. Or I can just give you something.
I will take the mystery box.
The mystery box? Okay. Z?
Same, because I don't know what I'm looking for right now. My brain's still resetting.
Cool.
Double mystery box.
Double mystery box. Okay. Which one? Cool, okay. Evie, you are someone who's more very interested in the Pine variant itself, really. Right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So, something that you find is it kind of piques your interest because it's a little newspaper just rolled up and just tucked away under a bunch of books on the bookshelf. And your first thought is, why is that there? Why isn't it with the others? And it's nothing major. It's just a paper about a huge storm and fire that just took over an area a long time ago, shrinking the town, essentially. That there was a settlement a bit further out, but the town essentially had to move. And with that, sorry again?
So this town, I just want to make sure I'm understanding.
Mm-hmm.
This town is not the original site of the town because there was this other place that burned down.
Essentially.
Okay.
They kind of shifted it a bit. And while you're looking at that, you're also able to find something else. Once you hear from the others more information about this particular family, you've got that name in your head, Leeds, and as you continue looking, you see that the original Leeds house was in that original town, the one that was just barely a settlement, but was built, and that it essentially got destroyed and burned down and just lost due to a wildfire and during the Pine Barrens, and also by a storm, kind of rendering the place overrun. We have a general area of it.
I like this. This is something Evie would be happy with.
Mm-hmm. Nathan, once again, you hear from everyone else this name again. You find some more information on it. And you find that a lot of the people that lived in that time were buried in that same area, except for a few stragglers. See, there was a town cemetery that was founded and created because, the dead need to go to a certain spot. However, Nathan, you're able to discover that Mrs. Leeds was not buried in the town cemetery, the one that was overrun and flooded out, and then relocated to be closer to town. She was buried on the original Leeds family property in an unmarked grave. You find a journal entry from one of her surviving children detailing the funeral services and how very few people wanted to come, and it was just only a family affair.
Is there any implication in it as to why they didn't want to come specifically?
Alludes to the tension between the family and the rest of the town, and also rumors of her being a witch. You can't tell if it was the family not wanting to be buried with the town, or if it's the town not wanting her to be buried with them. It might be both. During your research, the old lady, who's in charge of just upkeeping all of the records, brings you all tea and cookies. Benny is still abducted by her, but she does provide you all snacks and drinks too, while you all look into things.
I think as we're all gathering up the stuff that we have read, Evie will put her book on the table, the collective table, I imagine, and then sort of slide it forward a little bit and clear her throat with a vague air of smugness. I believe that we will be making a field trip after all.
Just get a very long look.
It's for a perfectly good reason.
And the reasons.
Well, it appears to me that this isn't the original site of this little town. Indeed, there was a great fire here several centuries ago. It seems the original site of the town, which was host to the first Leeds family, was a little distance away from here.
Very slowly nods. Kind of gesture with the journal in his hand. Seems to be some sort of family plot still out there. That does not points at the hand holding the book, turns it around so he's pointing a finger at Evie, mean that you just go diving headfirst in the marsh.
even if the marsh is around where this place is. Hopeful blinking of the eyes.
Only as a last resort, Evelyn.
Deep sigh.
With how small the town is, it can't be that far.
Can they find also maps of the town? Old town?
With your 2 fucking crit successes, yes.
Diving into the library one more time, coming back out with a couple of maps, laying it down on the table.
Plotting trip.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily his area of woods, but with Nathan's expertise, kind of judging from the woods on the way here, and then seeing roughly where the old town is by comparison. Are we looking at a rough hike in night in the woods, or are we talking like, an hour in, an hour out?
A rough hike and night in the woods.
Okay. Like Nathan starts putting that together and then just side eyes Elaine. Yeah.
I don't like the look in your eye.
Hiking and camping.
You've got to be kidding me.
Speaking of kidding me, is that man taking a siesta?
Hearty slap on Danny's back. Just resting up for leading us through the woods, ain't you, Danny?
Jesus, Mary, Joseph. What was that now?
We're going hiking and camping.
Fun!
See?
Why is it that it's fine when he's excited, but when I'm excited, it's suddenly an issue?
Because you're excited leads to you chasing halibut in nasty water.
In my defense. Alright. She sees the look I imagine that she's starting to get and she just stops.
Nathan just 100% tell me I am wrong in that statement. Where am I wrong? There is no lie. And just give Elaine a little smile as she, or not Elaine, Evie a little smile as she gives up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can go poking around with a stick in the nearby stream, because we'll find some sort of water can't buy.
It is a very important source of life, yes, and I cannot say I'm certain that we'll find something living in it. This place does seem rather woe-begotten, doesn't it?
Nathan kind of tilts his head one way and the other. Yeah. Can't say nothing until we see if there's any birds or anything outside when we get in the woods. We found Old Town.
Mm-hmm.
Leads have a land and assumedly at least one, but probably multiple people buried on that land in the Old Town.
Yes.
What was it
Anything that hasn't been relocated.
And then Avram found out that they're like half this town is related to the Leeds.
Mhm.
Was it that Elaine found out again?
Elaine
Mother
found out
Leeds.
that she wasn't a happy mom.
Happy mom.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mother Leeds was big upsetty spaghetti at her situation. Very unhappy woman with her life.
Elaine, share that.
Yeah.
Ethan just kind of nodding like, the town thought she was a witch or something. Possibly. So, makes sense. Y'all brainiacs know anything about dealing with, witch ghosts?
Do we?
Do we?
Do we?
I don't know.
Well, we're
Do
Do
rolling.
we?
Avram does study witches.
Yeah, maybe Avram knows.
Yeah.
What's the roll?
I'm looking for more information on them. Occult. Or, of course, Cthulhu Mythos.
Hmm.
You'll get slightly different flavored things depending on what you roll and succeed.
I'm gonna roll against a 6.
I want to roll for the shits and giggles of it because I have 5s in both.
Yeah, why not? Remember to check off
Alright.
anything that you succeed.
That is 48, so we don't got it, boys. Charlie,
Danny.
we're almost twins.
I have...
Oh shit! Elaine has an 80 in occult?
Yeah.
Yep.
Holy shit!
Alright,
Is
that's, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
It's a hard success for me.
Damn.
Damn.
Is Cthulhu Mythos something that you can use luck on?
Yes. As a skill check, yes.
I got to 12.
Okay.
I'll spend some. I have a good chunk of luck right now.
Okay, so it's gonna be a regular success?
Yes.
Cool. Alright.
Regular Cthulhu.
Regular occult, regular Cthulhu, hard occult or Cthulhu, Matt?
Cult.
Occult, okay. Alright. So we're gonna start with the occult rolls. Elaine, with a regular occult roll, when it comes to witches, I don't think Elaine's all too familiar with them, right?
No.
No. Something that she has read about before is what happens if a regular person gets access to magic and power. That's something she is familiar with. Whether or not she is a witch, you're not sure. Who's to say? You don't know her. These are rumors. However, you saw the resentment in her eyes. You read the journal entries of how much she grew to hate her life. You know what happens to someone if they get their hands on magic of this type. You know that if she was a witch, or if she got access to a powerful artifact, or if she gained magic in one way or another, it would have corrupted her very, very quickly. However, you are familiar with witches.
Yes.
You're aware that if this is in fact a witch, you're aware that these things can do a lot of damage. Not only that, you're also aware that depending on the type of witch, depending on the source of their magic, where they draw it from. You also know that sometimes they can summon things. Creatures and monsters from the beyond, bringing undead back to life. Any and everything in between. They can create and conjure. And you're thinking back to all the stories you've heard about the Pine Barrens. And you're starting to think, maybe she is a witch. Maybe that's the source of every story and local legend that you've heard about this area. And Nathan, using your luck to make that a regular Cthulhu Mythos check. See? Do you remember last session? When we were channeling our inner supernatural to make the rock salt shotgun shells.
Yes.
We are once again channeling our inner supernatural.
Hey.
Because Nathan, there is one thing that you know for sure, about creatures that you found, things that you don't like, things that are unnatural and mean to cause harm to people in the woods. If you can find the source of it, you salt it and you burn it.
Understood.
And Nathan found where she's buried.
We're gonna pick up like a pound of salt on the way out.
Alright. I would say at this point, it's getting pretty late. It's not nightfall yet. But it's like early dinner time at this point, I would say. The old lady asked if you guys are staying for dinner. She made a pot roast.
Nathan does, even though Nathan likes the wood, Nathan doesn't want to take this group out into the woods. It's already dark.
You sure?
Yes. That is mistake number 1 of every horror movie ever. He's not gonna make that mistake. Thank you.
Well, we're still in October, right? The end of October? So it's not November yet? Okay.
Nope.
We're good then. We're good then.
Don't mean shit.
No, it's you know, has to be in November. It's not
Don't
November.
mean
We're good.
shit. Nathan, to survive the horror movie, please and thank you.
Okay. So what are you guys doing?
Going out into the woods.
No. It has to
All
be
right.
an inn or something.
Or, we can go back to Obsidian to find a nice place to stay. With cozier beds and...
Okay, Miss High Maintenance. Okay.
What does a pretty boy sheriff recommend?
Well, I'm gonna roll a D100. If you ask him about it, you see he reaches up to scratch the back of his head. He is being borderline force-fed by this old lady because he's too polite to say no to her. And at this point in time, I feel like Danny is the one who gets the brunt of this because the others are distracted reading. Danny, you have learned a lot about what Mr. Fancy Detective Benny was as a kid. You have learned that he was some would even say wimpy as a child, and visited this lady a lot, and she is pulling out all of his dirty laundry. And at this point, he is ready to fucking get out of here.
Poor man.
Before she shares even more. You don't know what else there is to possibly share. He clears his throat, You know, we can either go back to town or we could stay with my sister and mom. They run the bed and breakfast. There should be enough room for everyone.
Feel it's a bit too early to invite me to meet your family. Mm,
Danny's the thirsty type, understood.
He shoves the cookie into his mouth.
An inn is good. I think the others would appreciate it.
Right, so we should probably get going and get out of here before she gets back. Getting up, putting on his coat, peeking around the corner where the old lady went to the kitchen to make more tea.
And don't be
Escape.
rude to your Lola. They aren't here often. Or long enough.
I know, it's just... I'll visit more. Without guests.
Danny's gonna grab a cookie.
It's a snickerdoodle. But if there are no complaints, at least Benny wants to fucking escape while she's not looking.
Cannot fault.
Too much has been learned about him.
No complaints, no complaints.
Mm-hmm. Danny has learned that he didn't know how to ride a bike until he was, 15. It's a bunch of embarrassing, benign shit.
Honestly,
he doesn't want to hear
same.
anymore.
Same. He's just like me.
Just like me for real. But you guys can either take his word for it and stay with his family in town, or you guys can go back to Obsequion. Not a long drive. He just wants to fucking leave this house before it's too late.
Yeah, we can stay with the family.
Yeah, I don't have any
We
issues.
might learn something.
Yeah. Okay. Elaine, Avram, is that cool with you guys?
Yeah.
If we have to. Yeah, no, I'm fine with that.
It's
She
not
never
five
said she
stars.
wasn't.
She's a definition of high maintenance.
Maltese, remember?
She is a Maltese. Something about small blonde French women. But alright. You guys make your way over. He doesn't even bother getting into the car. It's a 2-minute walk down the street to a very, very nice and cozy house. It's not the tallest, but it's very wide. And you see that it kind of stretches more deeper into the property rather than horizontally along the street. We can probably guess that, much like on the map, there are plots of land. And this house has essentially extended extended backwards into the land to make a rather sizable but very simple and cozy home. There's a porch that stretches around the front and down the side. We're giving way to stairs. It's a little inconvenient, considering you have to walk a little bit around to get onto the porch to get to the building, but it has its charm. You see simple wind chimes are hanging by the front door, and some very simple but very pretty little flower bushes that are just barely hanging on to the last of its flowers before the full effect of winter creeps in. He knocks on the door, and there's another woman that opens the door. You'd probably peg her to be a few years older than him, at most. She shares the same eye color, hair color, complexion, and you see that she pulls him in for a swift hug before turning to all of you and welcoming all of you in. There's an older woman seated at a table, standing in front of the stove, stirring a big pot that lets out a greeting as all of you are ushered into the foyer, and this woman who smiles at all of you and introduces herself as bum-ba-da-da. Where the fuck is your name? Ah, here it is. Julia. Jules for short. She offers to take all of your coats and asks the very, very simple question. Are you guys friends with Benny?
Are you looking around at each other?
I'm looking at Danny.
Yeah, and Party looking at Danny.
At Danny?
Yeah, Danny, are we friends?
Mm.
Danny seems to want to be friends.
More than friends.
Well, considering we almost saw his baby photos, let's consider us friends.
See, Benny just face palms out of view of Jules behind her. And Danny, you say that, and she takes your hand and she shakes it. She seems so happy. Like, you've confirmed friendship. And it's just a proud beam of a smile. I am so happy to hear that. You know, he's always had such trouble making friends.
Really? A face like that?
It's not his face, it's really his attitude. He's really too serious when he doesn't need to be. And you just hear from Benny, I am going to find a room for them. That's where I'm going to be. And I'm going to go help Mom with dinner. Like, I'm sure you were doing. She just waves a hand at him. He can handle that. She has people to interview.
Sympathetic smile from Nathan as he walks away.
Yep. But, Danny, you have become Jules' new best friend. And she takes you all around to a pretty sizable dining room. There's a couple of smaller tables set up, seating 3 to 5 at a time. And it doesn't look like all of it gets used at once. There are some that are kind of not plated at all, but there's 1 or 2 that are. Every now and then they'll have guests, but it's a small town, it's not often. She has so many questions. Many, many questions. First and foremost, what are your names? What are you guys doing in town? How did you meet Benny? The list goes on.
I feel like this might be the first time Danny introduces himself as Danilo.
Huh. Shake of the hand.
Goodness, is Danny the type to remember names?
I don't know. I feel like he'd remember an old person's name.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'd remember a young person's name.
He'd remember Nathan's. But Evie's boss.
Oh, you're trying to figure out if he remembers the party's names?
Yeah.
That's a fucking problem.
It's been 1 week.
traveling with them for like 24 hours now at the bare minimum.
At this point, we'll say that he's given everyone nicknames.
What are the nicknames, Charlie? What are the nicknames,
Stop.
Charlie?
Let me cook.
Okay, okay.
It's not even real nicknames, it's like the pink one.
What do you mean the pink one? Nathan is Kiki. Elaine is
The French one.
Shosho. That makes sense for her. Evie is just... That's too short already. Matt, is Auburn's last name Michigan?
Yes.
Mimi.
Except this.
Juz is taking all of this into memory. Unless she is corrected, that is your names. Those are all of your names.
Elaine will correct. Will correct.
Excuse me?
Yeah, just like, he is new to the group. He has not, latched onto our names. And she'll introduce everyone.
Did Avram say excuse me in character too?
No?
Ah, okay, cool. Introduces everybody. Gives the actual names.
Yes.
Here is the vibe. Whoops.
The spooky music's throwing me off, man.
I gotta give you guys some comfort before it gets too spooky. This is the vibe. She gives an air of very doting older sister, and you just see that Benny is just so done with it. He's just, nope, I'm out. You can have fun with that. This may or may
Aw.
not be worse than the old lady. I haven't decided yet. She's very intrigued. She will take everyone's nicknames in stride, and then Elaine corrects it and reintroduces. She's like, okay. You all seem very close. How long are you guys going to be staying?
Only tonight. Tonight we'll probably stop back in a couple days when we're going out for a little bit of a hike.
A hike? Really? At this time of year?
Nathan just nods. Doesn't offer anything else.
Well, I take it none of you are really local here. I haven't seen you around.
No, I'm not what you would call a local, unfortunately. It's a good question, isn't it? Joe, how many tabs did you just open?
How many sessions have you had?
My God! How many
Never
breads
mind.
have you eaten?
Pay no mind to me. If you
Okay.
drag attention to it, it's going to drag the session to a screeching halt.
Okay. Fair enough. Anyway,
Is there a reason we should not be going out this time of year?
well, I guess pretty cold this time of year. At least at nighttime it does. Deceptively warm in the daytime. Not to mention how muddy it gets if you go out in the woods. Has Benny not warned you about that? He used to play in the woods all the time when he was a kid. He really should know better. What kind of friend are you being to your new friends? Do you want to keep your friends? He
Well, a
calls out
terrible
into the
one if he
kitchen.
didn't mention any of the wildlife. Would you happen to know anything about it?
Nothing other than the basics of what roams into town every now and then.
There's a narrowing of the eyes from Evie. She wants to pry more, but she will not. She will resist this time.
There is no response from Benny other than just like a sound of a pot being put down a little too loudly. In response, you hear the voice of two people talking. You presume the mother chastising him for doing so, and you hear the grumbling acknowledgement of sorry to his mom for making a loud noise unexpectedly. She turns to all of you. Is there a reason for the hike? Are you trying to sightsee?
Just a bit of curiosity about this area out here. I work with my friend here too. Just pats Danny.
Do you now? Oh, that's exciting. Is that how you guys met, Benny?
Yeah, something like that. We're looking at these woods out here. Might be turning them into a park eventually. We just got to get a little bit of lay of the land.
That would be wonderful. And is Benny going to be going with you into the woods?
If he so chooses.
Really? That's surprising.
You're not much of a woodsman.
Well, when he was a kid, we couldn't really keep him out of them. And then, well, something. He. After a certain time, he refused to set foot in them. He wouldn't really talk about it. I was always so worried for him.
What happened?
This is a pretty sad story. I don't want to ruin the mood. It's so nice getting to know you all.
Nathan just not understandable. Nice to get. Sounds
But
like
if
your brother might be trouble from Ma.
he's very stubborn, but he's a good kid. Or man now. His heart's in the right place. It always has been. It's just that sometimes it leads him into trouble.
It is hard to imagine in a well-respected officer to be getting into too much trouble.
Oh, he used to be a very big troublemaker when he was younger. But, like I said before, he's not a bad kid. It's just things get boring around here, and, well, kids do things to entertain themselves. a lot of it's harmless. And he was always the adventurous sort before. And she kind of looks down at the table for a second, her expression falling a bit. He had a rough time when he was younger. And after that, he had an even rougher time connecting with people. So I really am glad that he's made some really lovely friends.
Nathan's not gonna pry us, and Nathan's keeping his mouth shut. I don't know about the rest of you.
Yeah, I figured Evie would probably be interested, but I don't know if she's the type to pry about this.
I mean, Elaine is subtly trying to, but
Elaine,
there's
you're
only
gonna
so
have to
much
be
subtly.
nosier.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's either Elaine's nosier, or we could get Mishkin in here. Maybe Danny's nosy.
you guys can certainly try and pry.
Nathan's not gonna ask sister.
His nickname is Mimi. Those Filipino nicknames are hard-earned.
Aw.
Aw. Does Mimi have anything to say about this? Or is Danny starting with that?
Danny will lean forward on the table, its elbow resting, chin resting on his palm. It sounds like Benny had some trouble in the woods, and I don't want for us to go causing trouble for him now. Is there anything we should know for bringing your brother out?
Kiana twiddles her thumbs a little bit, kind of picking at the edge of it. Well, like I said before, when he was a young kid, he loved the woods and exploring it. But after his friend disappeared, he tried looking for her. And he got lost for a day or two. We found him, but he was so out of it. And he just looked so afraid and pale. I tried to get him to talk about what happened, but he wouldn't speak of it. After that, he didn't step foot into the woods. Not even a few feet, really. So, I guess I'm just surprised that he agreed to go with you all. I guess that it's a good sign. It means that he's healed from that.
Would you Yeah, I was like, I have an idea, but I don't know how to word it without being sus.
What is your idea?
Well, she basically wants to say something along the lines of like, would it be would you be upset if he's trying to get closure or something, or maybe
Hmm.
this is helping him get closure? That's like my thought process.
You could just ask that. Like, that sounds fine to me. Unless anyone else has any input on how that could be worded.
Yeah, just I guess perhaps he's trying to get closure. Susie's.
Maybe that would probably be good for him. He took Ava's disappearance really hard.
What's the name?
Ava.
We'll keep an eye on it. Ain't gotta be worried about him.
Oh, that would be so kind of you to look out for him. I guess it's irrational, really, but after little Ava went missing all that time ago, her older brother and I would just worry about if Benny would recover from that.
I think Evie has a, for her, strangely thoughtful look on her face. I think you'll find that children are more resilient than you'd expect them to be in such situations.
Well, I'd hope so. And, well, he's not a boy anymore. He's a grown man who's taking care of those around him, so he should be fine. Especially if he has his friends there with him. Any other questions for Jules while you have her alone?
I got
How
nothing.
old was he when it happened?
Oh, that was a pretty long time ago. Well over a decade by now. Math was never really my strong suit. I think he might have been around 8 or 9? Somewhere around then. No, that's much too young. He was older than that. 10? 12? Wait, no. I've got it. I remember because it was the same year as my Sweet 16. She says, a light bulb. He was 14. And gonna give this to you guys for free because you guys did the research last session. And she gave you a name. That was 14 years ago.
Who's heavens?
Mm-hmm. The name Ava matches up to one of the children that went missing during that time. She was the only one that went missing that time. Or in that 7. Or that year, more like.
Danny is very visibly trying to run the numbers in his head.
Like, if Danny looks in Nathan's direction at all, Nathan will just very calmly, like, lift 2 fingers off the table. And then close his fist again.
She lets out a sigh. She looks up.
And Danny will put a hand on her shoulder. We've got nothing to worry about. And keep an eye on him.
She gives a smile, pats Danny's hand. That does make me feel a lot better about him going into the woods.
It's like Shosho said. It's a good way to grieve.
She nods. She kind of fiddles again with her thumb, of picking at it. You know, it's just... It's always so hard losing friends like that. Let alone family.
Family. That feels new.
Yeah.
Somebody ask her about that.
So you related?
She looks up. She tilts her head and she nods. Yeah, Ava, Benny, and I, and Ava's older brother Louis, we're all cousins.
We're all fucking really this town.
Matt was not joking about the genetic pool of this town.
Mm.
Yeah, I wasn't especially close to Louis. He was, I think, 2 or 3 years older than I was, so I didn't spend too much time with him. But Benny and Ava were the same age. And I think that they bonded the most from just being the youngest.
Mm.
Also, I notice some of you don't have flags up. Curious.
I wonder if I... Hold on.
I have a beautiful parade of nations here.
Epcot up in this bitch.
think
I don't have a flag
Ireland
because I'm the DM.
at Epcot would be the best and worst decision they ever made.
I don't have a flag because I'm the DM, but I can have a squid because Call of Cthulhu.
Can you not find a Trinidad?
Cheeky beaky.
Flags?
That's true.
Have multiple flags in your bloodline.
I have 3. I was just more so talking about the one for the game.
New Jersey flag.
Oh my god.
They don't have that.
They don't fucking have that.
New cheeky breaky.
Ah, new cheeky breaky. I don't know the etymology on that one, but I do know cheeky breaky comes up. What's the origins?
It's a long story, but it's like child playground speech. It's like rhyming stuff that doesn't really make any sense.
Oh shit, they do have a Trinidad flag.
Hey.
Cheeky breaky.
And they have a Guyana flag. Let's go.
Iris.
What? What?
Iris, where's your flag?
She's
It's literally there. I literally did
I
it a
don't
while
see it.
ago. It's because I'm offline.
Ah,
Hang on.
Why are you always offline? I always am like, I wonder if Iris, and then like, fucking you're offline.
I feel safer.
I get that though.
There we go. I feel
Poisson.
safer. Awesome.
Yeah, Mimi's a cute one. Mimi, Shosho, Kiki, Boss.
They're so cute. I love them. Alright. If you guys have no more questions for the jewels, going once?
I think we're
Going
good.
twice?
We've discovered a lot of this man's business that we probably should not know.
Because y'all just met.
We'll try to. Jules, would you like some help bringing up the food and everything? I'd be happy to do that with you.
Aren't you a gentleman? That would be lovely.
Okay. And Danny will like behind just real quick
She'll go.
to the others.
Mm-hmm.
No one's disappeared this year, right?
As far as we've been told.
And this is one of those years, isn't it?
Wait.
Be sure we want to do this?
Yeah, now we start digging up dirt. He's gonna be going out there if we don't, so. Can't say we can rightly stop now.
I feel like I've made my bed, so I'll keep an eye on him then. Right, I'll be right back. And he'll go follow Jules into the kitchen.
She went ahead of you, and you just were able to hear the sounds of conversation between Jules, their mother, and Benny, who just looks so tired and done in a way that's not serious at all. He is assuming that it's just Conversation with Granny Part 2 Jules Edition is what happened. More and more embarrassing benignness was spoken about that he didn't want to be there for. But yet, a warm welcome from the mom, who looks at you and then looks at Benny. She makes a decision in her head. What is Danny's strength score?
Straight up strength.
Yep, just a straight up strength.
75.
All right. She looks between you and Benny, and she points to you. It's like, you look like you are a lot stronger than my boy here. Would you mind carrying this? And she points to the big ass pot.
Calling her way out.
He looks so fucking offended. Jaw drops. Jules snickering behind her hand. It's like, what? Well, Mom, I carry it. I've always carried it. No, you can carry the bread tray. And what is Jules going to carry? She's going to be carrying the roast. He just looks so offended. He just looks at Jules. She just picks up the fucking roasted meat on the tray. He's like, don't worry, I've got this. I'm sure you can handle the bread. If you need help, let us know. She'll start carrying it. And Danny, you've been entrusted with the giant pot of stew.
Danny's going to take this job very seriously.
Okay. I'd like you to roll me a strength check.
Oh god.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You don't spill a single fucking drop.
Natalia is safe.
Mm-hmm. You pick it up like it's fucking nothing. As if you're the one that grabbed the bread tray. You get an applause from the mom, who looks very proud of you. You feel eyes on the back of your neck from a totally not bitter Benny, who's just holding the bread rolls on a tray. But you don't spill a single drop. You're able to carry it into the dining room where the others are waiting, where the tables are set. It smells delicious. Is there anything else you guys wanted to do during this downtime? Or night?
I imagine
Like
somebody-
Grace, obviously. Sorry, Izzy.
I imagine somebody has to talk to Benny privately, not in front of the family.
That can be done. Easy enough. Probably after dinner. Of course, Grace is said. Obviously, you know. Dinner is had. It is very, very good. It's very hearty. It's very warm. It's not 5-star resort, fancy Michelin star restaurant. I'm sorry, Elaine. But it is very, very good. It's made with love. And you can taste it and feel it in your heart. But Elaine, you get the feeling from these egg that, but not. Jeez, man. Bleh. words, English. Letting you bite into these bread rolls. And they're pretty good. You imagine your uncle could do better. But they're passable. It doesn't take long for now. Jules and Mrs. Woods to retire for the evening after showing all of you your rooms. Because Mrs. Woods is kind, she's welcoming, but goddamn, it's past her bedtime already. It is 7 o'clock. Too fucking late for her. She goes to bed. Jules helps her out. You guys are left with Benny, who looks so tired. And he has been left with cleanup duty with the dishes. That is his punishment for not visiting more often. So that's where he's going to be. You guys are all free to, if you want to help him, you can. Or free to just retire for the evening. Whatever you'd like. Or, free to explore outside, see the town some more. Maybe go into the woods early, alone,
Now that you mention it.
in the dark.
Okay, Satan.
No.
Mimi's gonna help him out. I do have a skill that may be useful here.
What skill?
To speak with Benny specifically.
Okay.
So psychoanalysis lets somebody, you can talk to them and help them confront a phobia or mania. If he has a phobia of the woods, would that count to be able to help him talk through it?
I will say yes. Though more often, that's generally used for if you see someone go through a bout of madness, you'd roll it then to break them out of it. Or if it's like therapy to try and recover some sanity, you'd also roll that. But that does fit. That could work here. I will allow this. I encourage it.
Let's see how it goes. I just got the numbers real quick. It's a 27, but I just want to see. Yeah, don't know if I want to go extreme on this. Hard success should be fine.
Okay. So, you're helping Benny with the dishes, and there's a lot of them. If you've had some time here, whether that's in silence or lightly chatting, up to you. What do you say to him? Because, how do you bring up the subject?
You have been awfully eager to come with us.
Looks at you, rinsing off a plate. Well, of course I am. It's my responsibility to look after the people in this town.
As a lawman, yes. Does this feel like a matter of the law to you?
I guess it's also personal. I am from here, as you can probably see. So, I want to protect the people in this town for more personal reasons.
When you say personal, are you looking for something in the woods yourself?
What do you mean? We're all looking for answers on what's happening to the people.
Yes, but no, you said personal. That goes beyond community generosity.
Looks at you. Squints. What kind of vibe is Autumn giving off? Oh, sorry, is Mimi giving off?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you to use my real name. Kind of warm and curious, like he's genuinely interested in what he has to say, and feels as though he's trying to help him unburden himself. Because he seems awfully high-strung.
Yeah, that's one way to describe him. He turns back to scrubbing that same plate as he just shrugs. I forgot the question. What was it again?
If he's looking for something in the woods himself, and that the way he said personal felt like it went beyond simply community duty.
He has a shrug, going back to scrubbing that same plate. I guess I am looking for something.
Is it answers to something that's bothering you? I'm sorry, I can't help but notice.
Look, growing up around here, there are a lot of questions that never get answered. And this might be the one chance I get to actually get answers for something. So it doesn't really matter what the price is. I am going to do everything I can to get at least some answer. And as he's saying this, you see that he's scrubbing that plate just harder and harder. He's sudsing up the pot of water that he's using, splashing it a little bit.
This weighs heavily upon you, doesn't it?
More than... Yeah, it does. I'm supposed to protect the people of this town. The least I can do is prevent this from happening again.
I'm sorry to repeat myself, but it doesn't seem as though it's... forgive me, this is not my primary language. The secondary concern?
He turns to look at you. And you got a hard success, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you see in that moment, and he turns and he looks at you, and he looks very stressed, but for a moment, in that same stress, you see a flash of fear in his eyes. And the plate that he's holding, that he's rinsed off now, you see that it snaps in two from how hard he squeezes it before he blinks, looking at you, or he just mutters a swear under his breath, looking at the dish he just broke. Yeah, shit.
I'm sorry I'm so clumsy, and I hope you'll be able to apologize to your family for me. I can't imagine why that slipped out of my hand. And he sort of helps him pick up the other piece of it.
He'll get a little box to put the broken pieces in. You don't have to... Oh, thanks.
Some of the benefits of being a foreigner, people will forgive you for all sorts of things.
Yeah, I'd like to try that sometime.
You can go to my motherland if you want.
You know, I think I'm getting tired of being a local.
A change of scenery can do wonders for your perspective.
I'm sure it can. Look, I'm sorry. I wasn't really telling the whole truth earlier.
Is this something you would like to unburden yourself of?
I don't think that's really possible. I think this is a burden I'm going to carry for the rest of my life. However long that will be.
We all carry burdens, and between you and me, I also carry some heavy ones, but talking to somebody makes it feel lighter, no?
You know, I used to think that. It's good to talk to someone about things until that person disappears right in front of you.
And this has happened to you before.
Let's see, he leans his back against the sink, taking a dry towel to wipe his hands clean. He nods. I don't know what happened or what exactly I saw afterward, but I feel like now's my chance to do something about it. Something that I should have done 14 years ago.
Anything you care to share would be helpful for us. I know, strange as it may sound, we do intend to see the matter through thoroughly, even though we're merely strangers passing through, I suppose.
Yeah. I feel like at this rate it's better to open up to a stranger than someone I've known all my life. Do you think everyone else is still awake?
I'm sure they're occupying themselves. Quite a few fascinations that keep them up late in the night.
Well, if we're going to be going into the woods, then I should probably come clean about a few things.
For your sake as well as ours.
He nods. I can finish this up here if you can get everyone. Meet me in the den.
Yes, but are you sure you're comfortable? It's one matter to say something, another to say it to a crowd. If you'd like, I can always fill them in.
And see, he thinks about it for a second. And can you roll me a psychology?
I can. See. Failed very slightly, so I'm going to spend luck on that.
Okie doke.
And we'll get a regular success.
You see, you say this, and he thinks about it. Turns to start wiping the counter dry. But even though he's facing away from you, you're positioned in a way that you can still see the profile of his face. You see, it's an expression that's filled with stress. There's still that fear you saw earlier. But there's also a lot more resignation. And as he turns to look at you, you see a look in his eye that you can only describe as doom. You see this mixture of resignation and despair and this stubbornness that persists beneath it all still. And he looks at you before he nods. I'm sure. Between you and me, something's telling me I should enjoy being around people all I can. Call it paranoia. Or just depression, whatever that is. But I'm sure.
Yep, I can certainly understand that. As for myself, I spent a good deal of time with many people who ended up disappearing. And as a treatment, there is always, you can do this or you can do that. Sometimes it's good to surprise somebody. Would you believe that I've killed 4 vampires?
That gets him to turn around from him wiping the counter. He's looking at you with a blank expression. Oh, what?
Is it helping?
Do you mean like the storybook?
They're a bit different in person. I was a bit surprised myself that staking worked, but so it does. So much to say that things are not as bleak as they seem. They can go differently. If this was a story, I would not have made it out. You are not stuck in a story. This town is not. It is very likely that it is a work of witchcraft. And terrifying as it is, there is a source, and the source can be dealt with.
He just looks at you and he stares at you. And I'm assuming Autumn is just straight face about this.
I mean, he's
like,
sincere, he's
no,
trying.
Yeah, no hint of deceit because he's not lying.
No.
He really did stake vampires.
He has.
Yeah.
He has and he will again.
Mm-hmm. And he just nods. And it, for a second, Autumn, You look at this detective officer, this person, this fucking sheriff, and you know in your bones, for just a moment, he wishes that he could have alcohol. He just nods. So you're familiar with all of that. I don't know how to feel about hearing that vampires are real.
I can assure you that there are 4 who are not anymore.
Thank you for your service.
Ooh,
I
likewise.
prefer the world to be not full of vampires.
And not full of witches, I imagine. And if we remain ourselves and deal with this matter wisely, you will be able to rejoin that world. The one without vampires, without witches, and without disappearances.
What about without ghosts?
I haven't encountered a ghost yet. Should I take this to mean you have?
He nods. He turns back to finish wiping up the counter. Pretty sure. At least that's what I think it is. Was.
When you say is this... You mean to say it's following you?
I fucking hope not. No. It's pretty sure it's something that's it's in the woods. Don't know if it can leave.
Between all of us, we can keep our eyes out, and who knows, maybe we'll surprise you. I may be a ghost slayer by this time tomorrow.
If somehow a band of ghost and vampire slayers found their way here, I don't know what the odds of that would be.
I'm no mathematician.
Well, neither am I.
It makes 2 of us then. But, however you may slice it, you have found people who can help. And since we've engaged ourselves, we will. You're not alone in this.
See his shoulders kind of ease a bit of tension. He kind of hangs his head. Maybe having more than one person go in there is key to that. Hey,
Yes?
whatever you do when we go in there, don't end up alone.
Thank you. That is a very useful warning.
Hopefully the group doesn't separate at all, but if we have to, no one should be on their own.
Well, there is at the very least, then.
Yeah. But I think I am done here. I think I need to get some rest.
That's a good idea. I can finish cleaning up. Get yourself some sleep.
Thanks. I appreciate it. I'll tell you more if I can remember more tomorrow.
Thank you. Anything will help.
He nods. And he hangs up the rag, or passes off to you if you said you're going to finish. He's going to go to his room. A lot of things to think about.
So, everyone, there may be ghosts.
I'm down with ghosts.
Ghost Part 2?
Can't be
For
any worse
Evie,
than
Nathan?
vampires.
Yeah. Evie, Nathan, and Elaine dealt with a ghost.
The ghosts have done nothing wrong. Leave them alone.
Charlie is the #1 ghost defender.
We'll see how you fare next session. If you're still holding true to that. Anything else anyone wants to do during the night?
Did we have any other things to do as a group?
As a group, individually, you just have some time in game to do whatever.
Let me look at my notes for things. Because I don't think we had any, or at least I don't think Elaine had any side projects.
Yeah, I think if there are any preparations we want to make based upon what he's told us.
Yeah, that can happen.
So
during the
we
night / in the morning.
We need weapon blanch. Everybody make sure you get the silver one would be good, I think.
You need a metric fuck ton of salt.
Can we borrow Shay's holy water?
No, she needs it.
She has so much of it.
She needs it.
Can we make more shotgun ammo?
That'd be up to Nathan and or Danny to make some more. Ouch. I don't need a roll.
I mean, Danny's down to try helping. But if it goes bad, then we need Nathan. Miss Cod, what is the roll?
Fuck. What did I have you guys roll last time?
I think Z convinced you that one of the survivalist skills was good.
I think so too. Z?
It's BRB.
Ah. It might have been Natural World.
What did the
I think it
log
was.
say? Oh, see, it's back.
Welcome back.
What did you roll? Do you remember when you guys were making shotgun shells? Because we have an opportunity to make some more now.
I think you argued for natural world, and I think
It was natural world.
Mhm.
I've rolled 2 things successfully. So we started the dark, and one was natural world.
So Daniel will start the process.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he's terribly great. Yep.
Oh man.
Nathan!
How many 90s pluses have you rolled tonight?
Do you want to use IRL die, Charlie?
You can.
I don't know what they are.
What do you mean you don't know where they are?
I said what I said.
Okay.
Okay. The panic coming from Danny. Something starts to catch fire, and it's like, oh no. Oh, no,
How?
no.
How did something catch fire, Danny? There's no fire involved in this process.
It just happens.
After
Hey, I mean, there's the igniter to fire the round.
Why do you have that? You're just making the shells.
that is a hard success. That's a 24 versus a 60.
Okay. So, you can roll me a d8, and that's how many you get.
D8.
Mm-hmm.
6.
Okay. And you guys had like a dozen last time?
Yeah.
Yeah. Another 6 on top of that.
18.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good.
You can hand wave Nathan acquiring the appropriate amount of salt and or gasoline and or Zippo lighter.
You remember when Rosette came downstairs with a bunch of meat and just like kept it pushing? I feel like that's Nathan with all the salt in this joint.
All the fucking salt?
He's not stealing salt from the bed and breakfast. They need to like us because we have to sleep here again when we come back.
We can hand wave and say that he went to the nearby shop either that same night or he woke up early as fuck because Nathan's a fucking ranger IRL.
Yeah.
He got his supplies.
I don't know
Nathan
that
feels like
he has like gasoline. He probably would get like a little bottle of lighter fluid though.
Oh yeah, I was just referencing Supernatural. Or it is lighter fluid, right? I don't remember. It was some accelerant.
They've done both.
Yeah, okay. The patent pending silver Zippo lighter. Okay. Anything else?
Here, were you about to say something?
Oh, I was just going to make a joke that Nathan feels like the sort of guy who, if he wakes up at 6, goes, "Ah, shit, I slept in."
Depends. But sometimes, yes.
Oh, gross.
Oh shit, I'm up after the sun rose. Okay. But Evie, Elaine, Avram, Danny?
I think I'm good.
Okay. Just want to throw that out there.
If, I just thought about something. We could get more information on ghosts from that book.
We're not reading that book. What's your
Okay.
sanity at?
I'll read that book with you.
Hey!
Oh my god.
See, we're using the buddy system. We're doing what's suggested.
What's your sanity at?
It's pretty high.
That's not a number.
Hang on. I'm getting it. It's 76.
Okay.
Pretty high. It's pretty high.
And I can use psychoanalysis to get people's sanity back. It just takes like a month.
Mhm.
Evie's at a nice 61, so just don't go below that.
Nathan's is lower, ma'am.
It
What is
shows.
Nathan's
Has to
sanity?
deal with evil, Evie.
54.
Sir, are you okay?
No.
Understandable. All right, if you want to look at the book and get your buddy.
Yes.
Okay.
Eldritch buddy, let's go.
Read
Knock on
fancy
Auburn's
literature.
door. Holding up the book.
I wanted to discuss something with you.
We're just in bed with our legs kicked in the air, just like looking at it under lamplight.
They both go insane in the bedroom. Danny goes into the woods. Nathan just decides to light this town on fire and fucking leaves.
And the whole fucking bloodline.
Evie is just in the muck, enjoying herself, thriving.
Evie looks up from the muck and just like several hours later goes, Nathan!
Nathan, would you look at this?
Where's the town?
Rebecca got out of Dodge. It's like, nope.
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 Mm-mm.
Rebecca was in the
Not my
car, and
monkeys.
as soon as she saw that, just turned around.
There's
Yep.
an Always Sunny bit I want to do so bad right now.
All right. So, if you are reading the book, may I just, if you can just clarify for me, which book are you talking about?
I was referring to the Necronomicon, or the copy, because I thought that was the only one we had.
That is what I assumed. I did not want to assume.
Do we have more books? Do we have more cursed books?
I think you have a couple of like not cursed books.
No, I want cursed books.
All right, understood. I'm going to need Cthulhu Mythos rolls from both of you.
Oh, good luck.
Mm-hmm.
Look, have fun. Haha.
You could.
Wait. I'm gonna.
You're gonna?
I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna fucking extreme this.
What?
I'm going all in. I'm going all in. I got 8 luck this session.
Before you commit to this, if you do so, an extreme success on this, I'm going to have you roll a sanity check.
Hmm.
It can be
cool
really
with that.
risky, but you could learn a lot.
I'll just power.
Okay.
I just closed my freaking browser.
Goodbye.
Well, we know how that sanity check rolled out. Goodbye, Elaine. Have fun making
All right,
your
Avram,
character.
what'd you get?
Was Iris going with the extreme?
Yep.
I unfortunately got a 26.
Oof. Okay. Don't worry. Sit tight, Avram. You might be needed. I'm going to need to see that sanity roll.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Elaine, you're only going to be losing 1 sanity.
Okay.
Now, tell me, what is she thinking? What is she looking for exactly? Is she just looking up ghosts? Is she just looking around for funsies?
I guess I don't know why, but this is what my thought process goes to, but like the ties between ghosts and witches. Like if there's a correlation.
Okay.
We do know witches can summon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, how can I put this? besides the summoning, is there more to it? Is there like some kind of binding that has to be done? Like more in depth on that.
Okay. So, Elaine, for a second, as you open the book and you start reading, for a second, it kind of feels like you're being drawn into something. You can almost feel yourself physically getting closer to the book. Your eyes feel magnetized to the page, unable to stop yourself from reading more and more and more. It is until you hear Avram clear his throat and shift next to you that you kind of blink and remember where you are. You remember what you're doing, that you're here for a purpose. You're looking into something specific. And you're able to shake off that feeling. But you do remember it. You're able to focus and look and research some more specifically on witches and how they can summon things, and there's a correlation between ghosts. And you're able to discover that a witch, by some definitions, is a person who has access to a lot of magic, and that magic has corrupted them into something that is no longer human or mortal. Sometimes it can be a being that is itself magical, not living or even breathing anymore. With a critical success, you stop and you think. A witch is a being that has a lot of access to magic, and that can be used to summon other entities of magic. There are a bunch of ways to do this. Sometimes it's spells, other times it's rituals. If you want to summon something very strong, a witch needs to complete a ritual to do so. But those take a lot of time and energy. You also have a thought that kind of clicks things into place for you. There's no rule against a witch being flesh and bone. There's no law that states that they have to be corporeal. And you think, if there were rumors of Mother Leeds being a witch, and if it's true, her ghost could still be one. And if that's true, and if she's summoning things, the amount of time in between people disappearing, it's probably a ritual that takes place and takes a lot of time and energy, and that's why it's a pattern. It takes 7 years for it to come to fruition. 7 years of this ritual not being disturbed in order for this to work round the clock, every 7 years, around the same time of year. She's doing something, some practice, some ritual, somewhere in the woods. And if you can disrupt that, you can stop it from happening.
Are there any suggestions for that are good for disruption?
There are a few. Some of them is defacing whatever the ritual is, whether it's destroying any runes that are carved, destroying any symbols, removing whatever items that are part of the ritual are there. Sometimes something as simple as salting and burning the ritual site will do it. But essentially, these things are very sensitive. If you do something to displace something or destroy something, or even just interrupt something important, that will be enough to destroy it.
Even the stuff that previously built up, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Think of it like a concentration spell that lasts 7 years.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Does it say what happens when you interrupt a ritual like that?
That's a good question. A ritual like that, there's 2 possibilities. It will either cause a explosion at the ritual site that will level everything in the area. Oh, hello.
You good,
Or,
Kira?
oh,
Yeah, I just went to get some snacks.
Okay.
oh, hello.
I was just saying hi. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, all good. Right. One of 2 options. First one, it'll either explode, little bomb, and level everything in the area, especially the ritual site. Or it will suck everything that it summoned back to where it came from.
Is there a way to pick which one happens? Or nudge it in a certain direction?
As far as you can tell, not without seeing the exact ritual that's taking place.
With the getting sucked back, does anything nearby also get the suck?
No.
Okay.
However, something that is being sucked back can drag things with it.
So, what you're saying is yes.
Yes. As in, you're not going to get sucked in. However, if something is, it can yoink you and try and take you with it.
Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
So, if we were, as Ira said, trying to affect the outcome, probably the best thing to do would be to understand the ritual.
Mm-hmm.
Elaine, we got to study the ritual.
Can we look into the ritual?
You could try. You don't know the ritual itself. There are all sorts of spells and magics that she could be doing.
Nothing that's tied specifically to 7 years?
That's a good point, actually. If we try and narrow it down to 7 years...
We know it's 7 years and
Mm-hmm.
often about 1 to 4 sacrifices, presumably.
Mm-hmm.
And the time of day and the time of year, technically, if that matters.
I am going to ask for another set of rolls with bonus dice.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is this Mythos again?
Cthulhu Mythos or Occult. Now that you guys have more information to go off of. And
it's 1 bonus die, correct?
Yep. So you're gonna roll your 10s die twice, take the lower one.
So number of rolls.
Cool. Both pass? Yep.
Alright. I am very smart, so I did Mythos. I got a 21. Okay. I'm gonna luck that.
Are you sure? What's your Cthulhu mythos?
9.
Okay. Are you sure you want to do that?
It's only 12.
How much luck do you have left?
39. I keep succeeding the luck check. I need to spend some of it so I can actually get some back.
Do
The
it.
economy's
Do
in
it.
shambles.
Okay.
One time when Matt and I were playing a board game, they said, "You have made the mistake of assuming I'm a rational actor," and that's a guiding principle of games with Matt.
You know what? Based. Okay. So we have a Cthulhu Mythos regular success and an occult hard success, right?
Hey, you think I should go for that extreme?
Oh my god.
Because I'm really tempted to.
Now that you mention it, it's only 8 more.
You want a handshake? Handshake?
Yeah.
Okay, fuck it, let's do it.
Any luck?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll spend the 11? For extreme.
So you're both spending luck to make both of those, an occult and a Cthulhu Mythos, both extreme successes.
I'm just going for the crit. I might as well.
Oh my fucking god.
I'm supporting my friend here.
We're supporting each other. We're studying magic.
Okay. Are you actually going for the crit?
I might as well.
Okay. I need to step away for a second and use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Just make us think about what we've done.
Yeah, I'll let y'all marinate on that. I'll be right back.
See, I knew these two would be great friends.
Hell yeah. I'm sure this will end in very good places.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it?
I mean, you went for the critical success.
It's only 15 luck.
You know what? Fuck it. You did it. I'm gonna do it.
Oh no. I'm a bad influence.
You know, the other two, Kira and Z, they got their crits early on. It's our turn.
It's our
again,
time.
I just want to point out that, again, Nathan has one of the lowest library use skills in the group. I think the only one lower than him currently is Danny. And in all of this time, has only failed library use once. I
Library
don't
use
know
is
how.
It's like the
Hello.
skill of the campaign.
I'm
Yeah.
back.
Hey, Amy, there's been an update.
What the fuck do you mean there's been an update?
We both crit.
Okay. This is fine. Everything is fine.
Amy
We
wants
spent
to
a combined
throw
like
something
50
at you.
luck on this.
What'd you say, Matt?
We spent a combined like 50 luck on this.
Yep.
How much luck do you guys have now?
31.
30.
Okay, that's just enough to not die outright. Okay. So you both spend the luck to critically succeed on an occult and a Cthulhu Mythos. Cool. I have one question. What does it look like when you guys are researching this? Give me fluff as payment.
Are we both reading this at the same time?
Oh, I would assume so. I've kind of got in my head, feet kicking up behind you guys, sleepover vibes.
Talking about boys.
Yeah.
Dude, Elaine would totally be down. But it's not boys. It's like eldritch babies,
It's eldritch.
Yeah,
It's
eldritch boys.
Yeah,
Oh my
It's
god,
witches.
Aleister Crowley. He's kind of
Oh my
cute.
god. Oh jeez.
Yeah, have you seen John Dee?
Now, as a complete side note here,
Mm-hmm.
doing like this, Elaine
Mhm.
doing this with
Mhm.
Avram is probably a dream come true to her.
Probably is, yeah.
That's why she's blowing through all of her luck. Gotta make this count.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Gotta show I'm worth my salt.
Okay.
I imagine they're like flipping back and forth through different pages and stuff like, oh wait, but this is tied to this, and this could be like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so they're like
Brainstorming.
handing it back and forth and like flipping to something, and then they talk about it, and then hand it to the other person.
Post-it notes everywhere in this book.
Red strings, boards
Mm-hmm.
on the side.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Alright, so Elaine, with your occult critical, what exactly are you looking for?
I had something and I lost it. Due to
Alright,
excitement.
we're gonna go over to Avram. With your Cthulhu Mythos, what exactly are you looking for?
Alright. So we want to be able to control the result of the ritual. In this case, if it goes wrong, I mean, I'm a little curious about what the ritual does when it succeeds.
Okay.
Yeah, that's important.
So you want to find out what the ritual does?
Yeah, what the ritual is supposed to do to get an idea of what its failure entails and how we might mitigate that.
Okay. So, through your notes comparing and all the information that you found over the last 24 hours, and working together to flip back and forth through this book, having someone to bounce off of is very, very helpful. And Avram, you were able to come to the conclusion pretty certainly. Like, there's a 99% chance this is what's happening. The ritual, you guys have come to the conclusion that this is Mother Leeds. It's her. She was a witch. She's a ghost. She's a ghost witch now. You don't know how well that's gonna mesh, for you guys at least, but you're pretty sure that's what happened. You're also pretty sure that this ritual, the reason why it takes 7 years, and you're able to find something similar throughout the book, is that it's combining 2 spells. It's combining one that revives a dead family member, and it's combining another that summons a monster. She's doing both of these at the same time. Above table here, because it's getting late, I want to expedite this. What she is doing is she is summoning her newborn child.
Yeah, that was what I figured.
Mm-hmm. Her 13th child.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good number.
Yeah. And she's summoning this child as the devil, quote unquote. More specifically, the Leeds Devil. Also known as the Jersey Devil. It's pretty famous around these parts. That's what she's doing. As for what that's what this ritual does. And what will happen when the ritual is disrupted is it is going to suck the devil back. Unless you do something specific to make it explode. Which I'll say that you can figure out a way to do that if you want to.
So one thing you said previously that I was curious about was
Mm-hmm.
that, it happens every 7 years, and that if you disrupt it, it can't be done. Does it disrupt it, period, or is it there's another chance in 7 more years kind of thing for it to happen again?
If you just disrupt it and you do nothing else, she can just start the process again to start casting it again.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Any ideas on what you want to do with your crit? If
Honestly,
you don't have an idea,
I don't know.
I can give you the why people
Yeah.
are being abducted.
Yeah, give me that. That'll work.
Okay. Again, much like with Avram, it's good to have someone to bounce off of. You've done this with Evie for years. It's very nice to have someone who is just as deranged as you are to speak with. You're able to come to the conclusion that the ritual itself just summons the devil, the Leeds devil, the babby, evil babby. The reason why people are being abducted is because... Oh, yes. Evie is included in the... It's nice to speak with someone just as deranged as you are. That's why... Sorry, I got distracted.
They're just
the reason...
now...
Mhm.
I was saying, now Elaine's working with someone that's in a similar specialization.
Mm-hmm. Now, the reason people are going missing is that the evil babby was the youngest of the Leeds family, and whenever it's summoned, it takes the youngest child of the Leeds lineage it can find, however many it can find. So essentially, each branch off, if it's the youngest sibling specifically. If it's an only child, not interested. Oldest child, middle child, not interested. Has to be the youngest sibling from the Leeds family, with the Leeds family blood in them.
From what we saw earlier with the family registers, do we have any idea who the most recent one would be?
Yep.
It's Benny, ain't it?
It's Benny. Every other Leeds register were only children. At least the ones that are currently alive. And in the town. There's probably one out of state that's not in danger of this. But he is the only one in the area. That's why Ava was taken, because she was the younger sibling. She had an older brother.
If she hadn't been around, it would have been...
It would have been Benny. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's very much opportunistic. The first person that fits the criteria that the creature can get its hands on in this window of time. Any other questions?
got any suggestions?
No, I think we're well set up. If we know all this, so we know that pretty boy over there is the bait.
Damn.
Oh.
Mhm.
I don't know if this would be available, but I don't think we asked this, but any type of weaknesses for this devil?
Oh.
For this type of creature?
Yeah. If you guys made like 30 luck fucking combined, I can give this to you. In case you haven't noticed, salt. Purified salt specifically. This thing lives in a salt marsh, so just salt water isn't going to do the trick. Other than that, fire is something else that will get rid of it. Or not get rid of it, but it will hurt it and be a weakness. You're got a crit success, right? Yeah, of course you fucking did. How could I forget for a single fucking moment? You guys had like 5 crit successes in this one session. Jesus. There is one other thing that you think might work. You're not confident on it. You're like 70% sure that this might be a weakness. This thing is still a baby. If you try and treat it like a young child or baby, that might deter it for a moment or two. For example, if, say this thing was, like, coming at Elaine, if she started to scold it, she might get a moment where it hesitates, because it's getting scolded by someone. Before it goes back to being a monster eat person.
Got it.
Does it have to be like a mother scolding this case, or can we have
Nope.
Nathan scold it? Because he's going to
adult
be
figure.
the best. He's going to be the best at it. We know.
Yeah. As long as it's an adult figure. Right. Any other questions?
Mm-hmm. That's all I got.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Cool. Thank you guys for playing.
Yee!
That's
We
it.
got a lot done.
Mm-hmm.